The biggest rivalry on ice is back at the Olympics, with the biggest stars taking center stage once again. It's Team USA versus Team Canada. Let's break down this historic rivalry between these two nations. Team Canada has dominated men's Olympic hockey for more than a century, and they're the obvious favorites heading to Milan. In 23 Olympic appearances since 1920, Canada has won 16 medals, including 9 golds. Of the 7 best-on-best tournaments featuring NHL players, the Canadians have won 6 of them: the Olympics in 2002, 2010, and 2014, the World Cup in 2004 and 2016, and the 2025 Four Nations. Canada effectively defended their supremacy at the NHL's Four Nation tournament last February, with Connor McDavid's overtime winner over the United States serving as a spectacular preview of what's to come. Now, with the NHL stars back on the top international stage, returning veterans Sidney Crosby and Drew Doughty will lead a new generation aiming to reclaim Olympic glory.
The United States men's hockey team has a legitimate chance to win Olympic gold for the first time since the iconic 1980 Miracle on Ice. With 11 total Olympic medals and their only other gold coming in 1960, the Americans are eager to show how much the game has grown in the United States over the past 2 decades. Team USA has won silver 8 times, most recently in 2002 and 2010. Their rivalry with Canada was front and center last February at the NHL's Four Nations face-off. In their first meeting in 15 years, the Americans set the tone with 3 fights in the opening 9 seconds before ultimately finishing second once again in the tournament. Now, led by a core that blends elite skill with toughness, featuring the Tkachuk brothers, Quinn Hughes, Austin Matthews, and Jack Eichel, Team USA is looking to assert itself on the world's biggest stage.
Team USA has faced Canada more than any other opponent in the Olympics, doing so 19 times, the last of which was a 4-2 win at the Beijing Games in 2022. The overall record, though, is not so great. Just 4-10-2 with 3 ties in Canada's favor. And the US has beaten Canada just once in Olympic competition when NHL players have been involved. That was in the group stage in 2010, which Canada avenged in the gold medal game just a week later. 2 games in particular stick out when it comes to the rivalry in the Olympics.
History was on the line in the 2002 gold medal game in Salt Lake City. The U.S. could win their first gold medal since 1980, and Canada was looking to break a 50-year gold medal drought, having failed to medal altogether in 1998 when NHL players returned to the games in Nagano. With the games tied at 2 in the second, Joe Sakic sniped one past Mike Richter to give Team Canada a 3-2 lead. Jarome Iginla doubled Canada's lead, and Sakic put it away on a breakaway as Team Canada defeated Team USA 5-2 to take home the gold for the first time since 1952. Quote, "We knew we were going to win," said Theo Fleury at the time with the Rangers. "We believed in ourselves and in the process and got better and better as the tournament went along. This is still the country that produces the most hockey players in the greatest league in the world."
And then there was the 2010 final in Vancouver. The U.S. had scored a shock victory over Canada in the group stage, but trailed 2-0 in the second period. Ryan Kessler cut it to 2-1, and Zach Parise pounced on Patrick Kane's rebound with 25 seconds left in regulation to force overtime. But in sudden death, Jarome Iginla found Sidney Crosby off a no-look pass from the corner and buried it 5-hole on Ryan Miller, leaving Team USA to lick its wounds with silver.
Now, there are many other instances where Team USA and Canada have met outside the Olympics, but last year's Four Nations face-off set the stage for Milan.
Just like in 2010, the U.S. got the better of Canada in the group stage. In front of a hostile crowd in Montreal that booed the Star-Spangled Banner, the Americans put forth a performance to remember. The game stunningly started with 3 fights in 9 seconds, setting the tone for a bruising, physical game. Connor McDavid split Charlie McAvoy and Zach Werenski to open the scoring for Canada, but that was the last best part of the evening for the home side. Jake Guentzel tied it at 1 before Dylan Larkin scored the eventual winner, and Guentzel added an empty net goal. But it was Team USA's defense that stole the show. The Americans' superb structure in defending a lead for much of the evening vexed a star-studded Canadian roster and carried the U.S. to its biggest win in years.
5 days later was the rematch of the century in Boston, with the Four Nations Championship on the line. Tied at 1 after 1, Jake Sanderson buried a goal in front of Jordan Binnington to put Team USA up 2-1. But with 6 minutes to go in the second, Mitch Marner dropped one for Sam Bennett, who tied the game back at 2, where it stayed until overtime. Binnington saved the game for Canada in the extra period, stopping Austin Matthews twice in front of the net before a ridiculous save on Brady Tkachuk. Like Crosby had 15 years prior, Connor McDavid made the Americans pay, scoring from Marner's feed to put Canada back on top in best-on-best competition.
What does it all mean? For Canada, hockey is woven into its national identity. It's been well over a decade since NHL players last took the Olympic stage, and the Canadians are looking to remind the rest of the world that hockey is theirs. Taking into account the political climate between the two countries, it would be a major point of pride as well. A Canadian win in Milan would also be celebrated as a reaffirmation of its place at the top of the sport.
For the United States, a victory over Canada, especially in the Olympics, would represent a historic breakthrough. The U.S. men have not won gold since 1980, in large part because beating Canada was too heavy a lift in 2002 and 2010, the two times the Americans have made it to the gold medal game since the Miracle on Ice. Expectations are higher than ever, and this year's gold medal game will be played on February 22nd. That's the same date the Americans beat the Soviets in 1980, so maybe it's a sign the hockey gods will be on the American side. And that's a brief look inside the Team USA and Canada rivalry through the years.
Stay tuned for more Olympic coverage, as Ethan and I will have you covered all throughout the Winter Games.
For more, head to the New York Post Sports YouTube page and read our coverage at newyorkpost.com/sports.